Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ISO GOAT here, back again for another quick video. Let me start this by saying I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I have financial experience whatsoever. Do not invest in anything solely based off my opinions or anything that I say in this video until you've done your own due diligence and your own research first. Never throw in more money than you're willing to lose, and also make sure you have a firm understanding of crypto before throwing in any kind of money. So happy Wednesday to you guys, wherever you are. Just wanted to give you guys some quick updates, and then I wanted to answer some questions at the end of this video as well that I came across. So first thing, shout out to Darwin. IFPA, International Payment Framework Association, directly connected to Bank of Brazil and many others, including Bank of Canada, etc. Ripple is an affiliate member. That means they get the benefits such as offering their products to primary members. Brazil spilled the beans. I posted this on my page. It sounds like SPF is trying to get away from the law right now, so my apologies on that. Okay, he's gone. So I did post this on my page. Like I say, I always post these things so that way you guys can look at it, use your own discernment, interpret it how you want. Next thing I have for you guys, shout out to Mr. Man XRP, BIS, Project Aurum and plus R3 plus Ripple equals gold, question mark. E-Project Aurum, the Latin word for gold, reflecting our starting premise that digital currency issued under the auspices of a central bank must be as robust and trustworthy as gold. You know, I think XRP already solves the problem of transportability. I think DAI has mentioned that multiple times, you know, and that's pretty much the problem. You know, and XRP can move around the world. Obviously, we've talked about speed, efficiency, etc. But, you know, I think it solves some of the problems that we are seeing currently in our financial system as well. And as I've mentioned before, you know, we're moving back from, moving away from a debt-based society into more of an asset-backed society, you know, gold, commodities, etc. So just as a heads up in regards to that, take what you will from that. Shout out to Woo Blockchain. Justin Sun's HR is communicating with all Huobi employees to change the salary form from fiat currency to USDT/USDC. Employees who cannot accept it may be dismissed. The move sparked protests from some employees. Obviously, that says enough. I guess there's a lot of people that aren't ready for, you know, blockchain and crypto to come to the forefront. You know, they're not used to it. It's something different. You know, a lot of people are comfortable with the status quo, but I think that it will be starting to be implemented with a lot of these businesses in regards to payments. You know, get paid in set currency, however you want to look at it. You know, whether it's XRP, whether it's XLM, you know, whatever. But I do find that interesting. USDT. I don't know, I'm steering clear of that, but, you know, that's just my opinion. Like I said, you know, don't let my opinion sway yours. Obviously, do your own research in regards to that. Next thing, shout out to Link2. Ripple's general counsel has confirmed that this is the last filing Ripple will make. Now, things are up to Judge Annalisa Torres. Ooh. Summary judgment for the case, according to former prosecutor James Filan, will take place on or before March 31st, 2023. There's a lot of people that think, hey, you know, this thing is going to go to distance. It might go to the Supreme Court. This might go the remainder of the year. It won't end until 2025. It'll end in the next 3 to 4 months. We do not know, people. We do not know. You know, at the end of the day, we are all speculating in regards to what could happen. And obviously, a lot of times they hit us with curveballs. As we've seen, you know, they pretty much drug this thing out for quite some time at this point. So, you know, just enjoy the show, grab some popcorn, kick your feet up. You know, it's all a show at this point, okay? You know, if you're still trying to get your last minute luggage, make sure you get it on, okay? I'm just saying, just as a recommendation. If not, if you want to wait, cool. All power to you. Like I said, you don't wait until the lawsuit ends. So be it. That's your choice. That's your prerogative. Next thing. Next article. Shout out to Alan for this one. This boy knows how to search anything, boy. You need to be a private investigator or something, because I would hire you. I'm just saying. Anyways, analysis of blockchain-based Ripple and Swift. It's just a very short document, an excerpt. It's 9 pages. It's posted on my page, so if you guys want to take a look at it, peruse it, you know, look at some of the little diagrams and charts, it does give a very intricate breakdown of everything. So I definitely recommend you take the time to look at it. And it gives a compare and contrast as well between Swift as well as Ripple. You know, between modes of operation, transaction capabilities, etc. Just to show like some of the costs, benefits, etc. Just an analysis, essentially. Next thing, I've mentioned this already in a prior video, but this article came up again, so I just wanted to throw it out there. Harvard, Ripple, XRP, and Stellar Lumens, XLM, will be the backbone of payment systems of the future. Now, I know you guys are not hearing this for the first time. You know, I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm sure there's other people that have said this. There's other people that have mentioned this. You know, definitely do your own research into these things. You know, like, people are trying to drop these gems out to you. Whether or not you want to listen, that's ultimately up to you. Like you say, I'm just a regular Joe Schmo. I just don't mind researching certain things and looking into things. You know, a lot of people in the community help me out in regards to sending me these articles, and I sincerely appreciate every single one of you. So, right now we're just trying to grow our knowledge. I recommend that you look into that. This article is posted on my page, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, farther down on my page. So just take a look under the communities tab. I like to post anything and everything that, is sent to me or I come across, and I think it might be interesting that you guys might want to look at. Next thing, shout out to 801_XRP, Ripple XRP. Fam, Timothy Masad, former CFTC chairman, on stablecoins. We need regulation for banks to distribute stablecoins and regulate decentralized exchanges, but we needed legislation to do so because regulators today don't have the power. This case is buying time for this, in my opinion. They are continuing to kick the can down the road. We can all see that. It's pretty much evident at this point, Like, they don't know what's going on. If they do have some kind of regulations, they are playing games right now. But at the end of the day, like I say, a lot of this is a show. It's for theater. They can't just implement a brand new system, and flip everything on its head without something set forth prior, okay? They're looking into these things. I'm hoping, this is wishful thinking, who knows. At the end of the day, we elect these officials, so, we don't really have anybody to blame but ourselves. But, it is what it is. Eventually at some point, there probably will be some regulations. Now, when that happens, who knows? I could speculate just as much as you can. So just my thoughts on that. Next thing, shout out to Michael Branch. Ripple Labs Inc. expects a court decision sometime in the first 6 months of this year in the case filed against the company by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Like I tell you guys, don't stress too much about time frames, okay? But here's how I look at it. Fast forward 5 years from now. Let's say tomorrow, the lawsuit does end, and price does whatever it does, whatever. And price, all right, we'll just say this. The lawsuit ends, and then there's price appreciation. We'll just add both of those together, okay? If you look back tomorrow, or in the future, I'm sorry, to tomorrow, are you going to be happy with your bags? Are you comfortable? Would you say you gave it your all? Are you comfortable with, whatever the return is, however you want to look at it? That's something you have to ask for yourself. Nobody else can make that decision for you. At the end of the day, we're all grown adults, grown men and women. We make our own choices, our own decisions, Plan accordingly. That's all I'm going to say, okay? But I do find that interesting. He says in the next 6 months. Like I said, I'm not dropping my... I'm not holding my breath, but that's just me. Next thing, Flare. There was a post about when you receive the Flare distribution. So there was some speculation in regards to some of the things in regards to that, whether or not you get 85% up front, whether you have to delegate, etc. I definitely recommend you guys look into that. I'm not an expert on Flare, so I'm not even going to act like I am, but definitely something to throw out there if you are planning on getting the Flare. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to purchase in the very near future as well, but there are some people that get the airdrop for free. So just as a thought, just something to throw out there. Shout out to ISO 20022, let's do it. Gold. The Syrian central bank devalued its currency by 50% on Monday. Another excellent example of why one should own some gold. I keep telling you guys, we are going to a totally different system. This is going to flip the current system on its head, and it's going to knock a lot of people by surprise. And then there's going to be people coming to you like, hey, why didn't you tell me? Chances are we probably did try to tell them, but a lot of things are going asset-backed. We've seen this, we've seen different nations hopping on board in regards to this aspect. Like I said, do your own research in regards to that, but just a thought. Next thing, shout out to Mr. Man XRP again. This man just dropping everything. The real-time payments map for January 2023. XRP, XLM, RTP, RTGS, ISO 20022. It's basically a diagram. I recommend you guys check it out. It's pretty interesting, very colorful. So definitely took a look at it. It's posted on my page, so you can check it out. This is just interesting from my group, so you can take it with a grain of salt. I just wanted to see where everybody viewed this technology specifically. So I asked the question, where do you see the value of XRP, say, 10 years out? And some people voted. It was, 27 people. 14 plus said 100K plus. 6 said $10,000 to $99,999. 3 said $2,501 to 10K. 3 said $500 to $2,500. One person said max $50. Just thought it was interesting, not saying any of that's going to be true, but, I just found it interesting. I posed the question to the group, to see where everybody was at, what their mindset was, what their thought process was in regards to the value. Obviously, the value is going to be in the protocol. Nobody really knows for sure what this is going to be valued at unless you're behind closed doors in some of these meetings. And even then, they might not even know, but hopefully. So, I just wanted to throw that out there just as a thought. Next thing, this is a post by, let me see here, it looks like Amara for January 4th, 2023. It's about John Deaton saying Sam Bankman-Fried is pretty much toast in regards to him pleading not guilty. I find this very interesting. This is pretty much a circus show at this point. It's crazy that this has gone on so long without any repercussions. But, that article's there. You can read through it. Not too long of an article. This is something I'm going to address. So now we're going to switch pace. I had some questions that people wanted me to answer. First question, Rick. Rick, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name and butcher it, so my apologies. Great advice as always, dude. Massively appreciate you. Would you please do a quick video on how to approach educating oneself on the subject outside of YouTube? Much thanks. Okay, so here's where I started. Me personally, depending on what project it is, I would first start with their website. Look at some of the things they're trying to do, some of the things they're trying to implement. Also, to look into the team. You might want to know some things about the team, like do they have any kind of I won't say criminal records, but if there's a wishy-washy past, I would be kind of leery. But that's just me, like I said. So I would start with that. If you're talking about specifically with XRP, Ripple, etc. I would start with the Ripple website. You can even go to Google. Google will pull up some things. Just as a thought. Like I said, obviously, take some of it with a grain of salt. There are some things that are put out there with misinformation, etc. So that's something you're gonna have to learn for yourself, I guess. Also, check out the World Economic Forum's website, the IMF as well, the World Bank. If you want to know specifically what might be to come, they do a lot of research in regards to these things well in advance before they implement them, okay? So just a thought. Next question, hopefully that answers that question for you. If not, just let me know and comment again. In your opinion, how long do you think it will take for the price to jump up? This is from Jay. After the settlement for the price to jump, wait, you wrote it twice. In your opinion, how long do you think it will take for the price to jump up after the settlement, period? All right, so here's what I'm gonna say for this. I don't think we are gonna know when this happens. Obviously, nobody knows when the lawsuit is gonna settle. Nobody knows that. Okay, we don't know when implementation and price appreciation happens. There's a lot of different factors that go into that. It's not just like, hey, you know what, send that price now. There's a lot of things. There's contracts and stuff in place. There's governments and banks and there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of intricacies. It's not very simple. It's not just two people. Hey, are we doing this? Are we not doing this? So with that being said, nobody's gonna know when that happens. But I do think that price will come before before the resolution. Just my opinion, that would make sense. Now, I did speculate potentially that they were trying to drag this out until the XRP on exchanges was more limited, I guess, if you want to look at it this way. Obviously, it's pretty much bottlenecked. A lot of these exchanges have already delisted XRP. There's some that have relisted it, cool, here and there. Some exchanges I've never heard of. But, access typically is not really there. So, it's already limited, and then there's some exchanges that do have it. People are still putting in buy orders, whether it's behind the scenes, however you want to look at it. And I think that at some point, whenever the liquidity does run out, this lawsuit probably will end, or at least close to run out. Who knows? I don't know. Obviously, with limited liquidity and everybody's trying to put in buy orders, once, we have regulation, the lawsuit's ended, that's pretty much your price right there. It's limited access, so you'll probably be paying a premium, just as a thought, like I said. So I do think price is going to come before regulations come, but that's just my opinion. I do think we are overdue for a Black Swan event. I know FTX was a pretty big surprise to a lot of people. Whether or not there's something else coming, I've heard mention of potentially Tether going down. Now, if Tether goes down, that's going to obliterate the market. That's literally everything. I can't remember the exact amount, but look at market cap. It's a pretty high market cap, and that will literally single-handedly slap it in the face. Okay, so who knows what the next Black Swan event is. I've heard some things about potential cyber attacks, things like that. I recommend you look into some of these things. Some of these governments have done simulations in regards to this, just as a thought. Not saying that's going to happen, like I said, but just plan accordingly. Make sure that you protect yourself, protect your digital assets. There's people that still leave stuff in exchanges. I'm not quite sure why, but and then those will be the same people looking sick when one of these things goes insolvent, or hey, somebody hacked my funds. If you hold the keys to your stuff, you don't ever have to worry about that, okay? There's measures in place to protect yourself. Security is of the utmost importance in the very near future with where the world is going. Just a thought, like I said. So something to think about. But I do think a liquidity shock is coming, whether or not, that's from this next Black Swan event. Who knows? I don't know how it's going to play out. Like I say, I'm just grabbing my popcorn, grabbing some butter and some salt and kicking my feet up, okay? Here and there, may buy some bags here and there, but, at the end of the day, if you plan ahead, you know, you don't have anything to worry about. Just my thoughts, but last thing I wanted to mention, actually no, two more things. So bear markets. Bear markets are where legends are made, okay? A lot of people want to jump into markets when the market's hot, when you hear about it, when you see it on the news, like, oh, this digital asset pumped to this price. I'm going to throw in some money now. That is not the time to make money. That is the time to get wrecked, okay? When things are down and on a discount, when you see those fire sales, at least in my opinion, I'm just a regular Joe Schmo, I look at these fire sales, and if it's on sale, 9 times out of 10, depending on what it is, I'm potentially buying. That's just me. That's just my mindset, how I think. You know, you have to think against the grain. You know, I feel like people are so in tune with, you know, having to see price to realize the value of something, and that's going to screw a lot of people in the future, I think, for lack of a better term, okay? You know, the price is in the protocol, or I'm sorry, the value is in the protocol. Okay, you're not always going to see price appreciation when you want it, but at the end of the day, if something is valuable and it brings some kind of change to the world, some kind of positivity, you know, it solves some real world problem, the use case is there, okay? I know Amazon didn't start out expensive. It started out very cheap. Tesla also started out very cheap. And a lot of these companies also were sued by the SEC, and I wasn't even going to go into that. But, you know, between Microsoft, Tesla, Amazon, each of them sued by the SEC, and then went on to do numbers, okay? I don't think it's ironic, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, but, you know, we're all enjoying the show together. We're all on the same train. We're all on the same side, at least I hope at this point, but, you know, we're all going to get through this together, okay? You know, just continue to do your research, continue to look into these things, continue to do, you know, to take the necessary time, you know? Don't just let somebody tell you, hey, you know what, this is going to be valued at this in the future. No, nobody can tell you that. You have to know that for yourself. You have to look into these documents. You have to look into these reports. You have to look into some of these gems that people are dropping. Like, don't just take it for face value, okay? You know, this is just my thoughts. Like I said, just trying to let you guys know, hey, I'm here with you. That's all I'm gonna say in regards to that. Next thing, Songbird. A lot of people keep asking me about Songbird. It is given to some people for free due to the snapshot, etc. If you were in at a certain time, whatever. I think there's only a supply of like 15 billion, if I'm not mistaken, but it's basically the test net for Flare. Value-wise, I don't know. I don't know. But if it's a test net, you know, before Flare goes live, I would think that, you know, realistically, Songbird should be a decent price, I would think, but that's just my opinion, like I said. So I don't know too much about it. Definitely recommend looking into it if you are interested in Songbird and Flare. Flare will definitely be very important in a very near future for passive income. There are different opportunities with that. I'm personally looking into that myself. So that's really pretty much all I got for y'all today. Sorry I went on a little bit longer, but ISO Gold out. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with someone you love, change their life. I will catch y'all in another video. Thanks so much.